Good afternoon, everybody. 42% of Americans have had a friend or family member suffer from a terminal illness or coma in the last 5 years. This statistic is just one reason that I believe physician-assisted suicide should be legal and readily available in all 50 states. You might be asking yourself, what is physician-assisted suicide? Well, the clinical definition for physician-assisted suicide is the practice of providing a competent patient with a prescription for medication for the patient to use with the primary intention of ending his or her life. Now, there are a number of reasons that I think physician-assisted suicide should be readily available and legal in all 50 states, and these are just a few of them. First, it gives someone that is terminally ill the right to choose how they die and the right at any point during their disease course to end the suffering that the disease is causing them. The second reason that I believe it should be legal is for family members. Getting a terminal illness diagnosis is a terrible thing for family, friends, and loved ones to have to endure. And by making physician-assisted suicide available, it kind of takes the burden off of them and the stress off them. It leaves the decision making to the patient who is inevitably going through the disease. And lastly, just having the prescription and the means to stop the suffering is sometimes enough. A lot of patients don't even utilize the prescription and they end up dying of natural causes anyways. A statistic from Oregon in 2013 states that in the year 2013, 77 people used physician-assisted suicide, and that's just a quarter of a percent of all deaths in Oregon. So it's a very small amount of people that would be using this. There are 6 other areas in the United States where physician-assisted suicide is legal. They include California, Colorado, Oregon, Vermont, Washington State, and DC proper. This bill was proposed in 2013 in Massachusetts, 2012 in Massachusetts, and was known as Question 2. And you might be thinking to yourself, well, how come it didn't pass? Or what do these other states have that we don't have that can make it work here? Well, I think there are a number of reasons that it failed in Massachusetts. And number one is that 40% of the state is Catholic. A lot of religions have some very staunch opinions on suicide and taking your own life, no matter what the circumstances are. Secondly, the language that they used to propose the bill could have been a lot better, and I don't think was clear to a lot of people just how it was going to work should it actually be passed. And lastly, I just didn't think people were ready for this bill. The opposition proposed a number of uncertainties and false hopes and misdiagnoses in people with terminal illness. So that's a major reason why I think it didn't pass. Lastly, what can we do to make this readily available for all, or at least in our state of Massachusetts to begin with? And I think the most important thing is to educate ourselves and our friends and our family members and our children about physician-assisted suicide and end-of-life measures. It's something that not a lot of people want to talk about, but inevitably it's something we're all going to experience. So by handling it now, it makes things a lot easier in the future. Secondly, we need to vote. If this is something that you feel strongly about, you need to get out to the polls and express your opinion in the voting booth. Lastly, I think it's a basic human right that people be able to choose to die with dignity and not have to suffer. Thank you. Have a good day. These are my works cited pages. If any of you guys want to look into this further, here they are. And if you're wondering, no, I don't have a printer, unfortunately. Sorry.